This is a profit and loss Power BI dashboard, a useful tool for financial analysts, accountants, CFO. This dashboard is automated. You just need to create it once, connect to your data, refresh, and it updates whenever a new data is added. This dashboard is interactive. Right now, we are looking at financial year 2024. When I select that of 2023, everything changes for that. On the second page, we have the monthly breakdown. The same thing is applicable, is interactive as well. The link to the Power BI file and data used is in the description. Let's look at how this dashboard is set up. So when you open up the zip file, these are the two files that you're going to see, the Excel file and the Power BI file. The Excel file contains the data that this Power BI file was built upon. So let's look at the data. You have the account table, which gives the breakdown of all the transactions. You have the budget table, which gives the breakdown of the budget as well as the budget amount assigned. The accounts table, basically the list of all accounts together with the account ID. So the account ID is present in the transaction table as well as the budget table and accounts for mapping and relationship. This is the dashboard in Power BI. Let's go over to Power Query to see how the data is connected. Click on Transform Data, Transform. The first part we have is the data source. We have the file path parameter. This is an Excel file, and this is the file part of the Excel file in our system. To connect to an Excel file, basically, you need to click on New Source and Excel Workbook. But right now, I already have a file path that I just need to replace. Next thing I'm going to do is to go over to the folder where I have my Excel file, which is this. Right-click on it, copy as part. Go over to the parameter aspect of things, clear what I have here. You have the file part of my own system, so you need to paste yours. I'll clear this and paste what I have. Then remove the inverted comma at the end and beginning. So we have this. Apply this particular change so that this report can now be looking at our own table. Now let's look at the data cleaning process that I did for the fact table. By default, Power BI changes type for you. It's left for you within your own data to ensure that the columns, your individual columns, has the correct data type. Next is to extract text after delimiter. This particular application is done on the account column. You can see that it has the account code within this. I don't need the account code since I already have an account code ID column. So in order to do this, extract text, you can click on Transform, Extract. You can extract text before delimiter, after delimiter, depending on what you want to do. Next again is extract text before delimiter. This is applied on the memo description column. Next is conditional column that I added. It's still a data cleaning process. So this is still on the memo description column. If the row ends with SaaS subscription, return SaaS subscription. If it ends with SaaS subscriptions, return this. So you're trying to normalize the name on the column. Next is remove other columns. To remove the columns that I don't need, then rename your custom column that will be created with the conditional column. Then change type. You can continue with your data cleaning process based on your data. The next table is the dim accounts table. For this, Power BI by default changes type. The only thing I did is extract text after the delimiter, just like I did for the transaction column on the accounts column. Then dim budget, same thing. Then over here, I have a template. This is a template that we're going to be using for the P&L tables. You have the line item description, line item ID, sort, and highlight. But the line item description, these two are basically the same. The difference is that I added a special character in front of this so that it will show well, it will give that matrix visual when you're using it on a normal table. Then this is the line item itself that my tables are going to be looking at. Then this is the sort. For this sort, this is to ensure that Power BI does not sort this our line item description in our alphabetical order. We want it to sort it this way. Revenue is the first one. Then highlight. This is going to be used on the metrics based on if the line item is level 1 or level 2. When you look at our column, when you look at our table, you can see revenue is a line item level 1. So we are giving it 1. so that when we add the conditional formatting in Power BI, you are telling it to highlight this row. If it is labeled as 0, do not highlight. That's basically what that part is doing. To update this template, you click on this source and you can easily update it. We are going to be looking at how to update it later in this video. I'll go back to the Power BI side of things to look at how things were set up. Here in the Power BI side, let's look at the model view to see how our tables are related. So we have the fact transaction connected to the DIM account and the DIM dimension date. Then we have the DIM budget connected to the account and dimension date. Then we also have the template as a disconnected table and our measures table. So let's look at how we created the dimension date. The dimension date, we have this, and we have our fiscal month. Right now, set to January. If yours is April, for instance, you can say equal to 4 to show that the fiscal month starts in April and everything just aligns with that particular fiscal year. Now we are going to be looking at the measures that are filling this particular page. Over here, I have my measures table with different folders. We have the actual budget, key measures, and P&L measures. Let's look at the key measures. The key measures majorly the total amount, which is just the sum of the fact transaction. Then we have the total budget, transaction, variance, total amount minus total budget. These are my base measures. The next one is on the actual measures. So what's going on here is that we created individual measures for the actual budget, variance, and variance percentage. That's the first thing. So for revenue, you will have the revenue actual, revenue budget, revenue variance, and revenue variance percentage measure. That is the way it works. So those are the measures that you have within all this. For revenue, we have it as income here. In budget, income B, with the suffix B to differentiate. In variance, income V, like that, till variance percentage, income V percentage. So once you are done creating all of those individual measures, this is where using Claude and MCP server, it's very easy for you to create all of this. Then you now have the P&L measure. This is where we now combine the actual, all the individual measures into one measure in order to be able to create this table. A place that we collected all the individual measures that we've created. So we have it this way. The same thing is applicable to the budget P&L. Next thing is the conditional formatting for this. So in order to achieve this, we created a measure conditional formatting for variance percentage. For this, I first of all itemized all my expense line items and name them as expense items. So within this, if it is an expense and variance is greater than 0, I want it to return red because it means that my expense has increased based on what I budgeted for. Else is blue. Now let's look at how to update this. Assuming you have a line item that you want to add, if you want to add depreciation and amortization separately, for instance, first thing you're going to do is to add it to your accounts table. In my case, I have amortization, although we have depreciation expense, but this is just for demonstration purpose. Then, of course, it should appear on your budget, on your transaction, which is here as well. I have it as a December 2024 entry, and I also have a budget for that as well. I'll save the file, go over to Power BI and click on refresh. Go over to table view. This is the DIM account. When you scroll down, you should have amortization. Same thing on the budget, DIM budget. When you look at this part, you have the amortization as well showing. And it should also show on your fact transaction. So, but right now you can see that it's not showing here. This is because we have not updated the measures and we have not updated the template. So to do this, we are going to go over to the transform data part of things. Go to the template here. So I want to add that after travel and entertainment. I'll click on source. Like I said earlier, I added the special character in front of this so as to give this default space. In order to get that special character, I will go over to Excel. The special character is on Excel. Open a new sheet. Click on this, add symbol. So this is the character, no break space. So this gives you the ability of adding space. If you use the normal space bar, the Power BI shift seat, it does not recognize that space, but this particular character helps you. So I'll just click on it twice to add it to that particular cell highlighted. Click on this, insert, click on this and insert again, then close. So right now you can see that I have it there. I'll highlight it, copy, go over to this part. So since I want to add amortization here, I'll right click on it to insert a row on top. So this is where we have that. I'm going to paste the special character in, then amortization, then write amortization here as well. Then relabel this. This is 18. Also add 0 here because we don't want this to be highlighted. Then click OK, close and apply. Now we have amortization. The next thing is to create a measure for amortization, actual, budget, variance, and variance percentage. And because of the location of it, it's going to be similar to advertising and marketing because they are in the same level within the same parent operating expenses in this case. So when we look at the advertising and marketing, you can see that you're calculating total amounts where DIM account level 2 is equal to advertising and marketing. So in my case, it's going to be equal to amortization. So to do that, I'll just copy this measure, right click on the actual part, new measure, paste it again. We are going to replace advertising and marketing with amortization. So just click highlight, hold down the shift key, control key and L to highlight all of that. So we are using amortization. So I'm going to copy this to create for budget. For budget's case, we are only going to change this total amount to budget. I'll just click commit to commit this measure. Go over to budget, right click, new measure. Paste this. So using the naming convention in budget, we need to add suffix of B to identify that this is for budget. Then instead of total amount, I'm going to change this to total budget base measure. Then also create amortization for variance and variance percentage using the same concepts. Next thing that we're going to do is to add all these new measures to the measures that we use to create this table, which are the P&L measures. So under actual, we scroll down to where you have operating expense. So I want to add amortization here. In order to do that, I will copy this part, then shift enter, paste it on the next part. So in this case, if the current item is equal to amortization, give me the measure amortization within the actual. So it's just the amortization without label. Then the same currency format and click OK to commit. So for this, we will start seeing it on the P&L table. So you can see that we have it here now. I'll do the same thing for budget, variance, and variance P&L percentages. So that's the way to add a new line item to this file. Like I said, the link to the file as well as data is in the description below. Like and follow for more.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.